Hello, my Zentangle friends. This is Barbara Langston, CZT, Certified Zentangle Teacher, and I hope you're really doing well today. This is day 4 of Inktober 2021, and day 4 is Whipped Cream by Doris Bisschop, CZT. And this is a fairly easy tangle. I've seen patterns that are similar to this, but once I started doing it, I could see that it was a little bit different, but it's easy to learn, easy to do, and I think you'll enjoy it. I'm going to start with one of the pages out of my smaller binder, my disc bound system, and I do cut my own tiles, and you might be able to see on this one that it's got a oh shoot, now I can't even think of the name of it, but it has an imprint on that side, so I'm going to work on this side of it. But first I'll show you the basics of how this works. I'm going to use Micron 01 and a graphite pencil and a blending stump. And I'll show you quickly how the ribbon works. And I'm just going to start with several small circles. And I'm going to try to space them about the same distance apart. If you were doing a border, then you would do that in a square. And then I'm going to do what they call take off and land. And so I'm going to take off from that side, make kind of a S, and land down here. And I'm going to do that for each one of these. Make an S, make an S. Okay, then I'm going to go back to the top of this one. And you could do this however is most comfortable for you. I tend to like doing it, bringing it toward me. So I'm going to go back to this top of this one. And I'm going to do an anchored aura, which means I'm going to bring it back down to the bottom here. And then I'm going to add 2 more of those. So there's 2 and 3. And I'm going to do that on each one of these. So there's the first, second, third. And this one actually goes kind of quickly, but take your time. Go as fast as you would like, whatever's comfortable for you. Okay. And then we're going to turn it and just do the exact same thing on this side. So I'm going to start at the top here, do my first aura that's anchored down here. Now the second, third, two, 3, and then one more time. All right, so that's basically how you would do that if you wanted to do a ribbon. Again, if you wanted to make it square, and I'll show you at the end how I've done that on another tile, then you could just do it in whatever shape you would like. All right, so I haven't figured out many other ways to do or use this pattern other than to have it in a straight line like this as a ribbon, or in a circle or a square. And so I'm going to show you how to do it in the circle. And I used a circle maker because I like to start out with a nice circle when I do my patterns. I am not against using tools. I try not to use too many of them, but I'm going to use this just so I can get my circles down there. And so I'm going to start here at the top and add a circle, like at 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Then I'm going to turn and do that again in this direction on these sides. And then I'm going to put 2 more in between. So I'm just going to, kind of guess at exactly how to space those. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. And now that I have that in there, I only needed those to get my circles. So I'm just going to very gently with my kneaded eraser remove some of that line. And I'm not going over those little orbs because sometimes it does make them smear. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to do our take off and land. So I'm going to start on this one. And again, we're just going to make like an S. And then keep coming around with that on each one of these. This is actually my second time to do this video because I am still struggling with my internet connection, and it kept getting kind of pixelated and pausing and making the video look bad. So I have tried again to fix it myself. I bought a new router, and so I'm going to test. I'm testing it now and hoping that it doesn't do like it was before. Okay, so there we have all those on there. Now I'm going to start making my anchored auras come around. And I suppose you could put more of these if you wanted to, a little bit thinner. I haven't come up with many or any ideas to do a tangulation of this, but I really like it the way it is. It's easy to do, easy to remember, and it's pretty. So that's my kind of tangle. It's becoming one of my favorites. And I'm really grateful for Inktober because it helps me learn new patterns. It's a nice challenge. And I'm just turning my tile to keep my hand comfortable. All right, one more on the outside. Now I'm going to go to the inside. So I'm going to go over here, since that's the most comfortable way for me, and just start doing the same thing. 3 auras. I really like how this looks in a circle. Although this is very repetitive, I don't speed up my videos, so you are welcome to fast forward through this or follow along with me, whatever is most comfortable for you. Okay, so now I have all of those done, and what I like to do is to add a little bit of hatching. So on the side where I added these auras, I'm going to add just a little bit of hatching here. It just adds a little bit of boldness. I'm going to come back also with the graphite, but I just enjoy doing hatching. So again, I'm staying on this side. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing over here. So I'm going to switch over to this side, and then we're adding this hatching in these first 3 sections. And you could make that go as far as you wanted. if you did this on a colored tile, like gray or even black, or the Renaissance tile, then you could add white in here to highlight it. But as far as Inktober, I'm only doing it on white tiles. I get 22 by 30 inch sheets of paper from Dick Blick, but I've also found that my local art supply has those size papers. And then I cut my tiles myself, and then I use the disc binding system to put them into little booklets. I really love that I found that. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is just add around each one of these circles some graphite. And then I'm going to come back and blend that in. Okay, so now using my blending stump, and I call it that instead of a tortillon because YouTube tends to change that to be tortilla. So it's not a tortilla, it is a blending stump. And then just soften that. And if you pull it in toward the center, then just make sure you keep this part kind of white. I think I brought this one down a little bit too far. I'm going to just erase that a tiny bit. So I do enjoy the fact that it's getting close to fall, and I am in Southeast Texas, but halfway between Houston and Galveston, and we've had a couple of days where the humidity was low and the temperature went down below 95. And for us, that's like, oh, wow, it's cool, especially if it's not humid. It made for a very nice couple of days. I lived in the Phoenix area for a few years, and that's like 0% humidity, so it's quite a difference. Okay, so there we go. Very simple pattern and a very simple tile. You could add other patterns in the center or around the edge. Again, you could use it like a ribbon. I'm going to show you what I did last night, just playing around before going to bed. So this is on a gray tile that I've cut. And this is Lunar Flux, which was day 1. and then also in the center, and then around this is the whipped cream. And you can see I tried a different couple of ways of doing lunar flux, and then in the center of whipped cream I used white jelly roll pen, and then also tried a couple of different ways of doing the tips on lunar flux. All right, so that's it for today. A simple video. I hope you enjoyed it. And tomorrow is Ayame by Emiko Kaneko. I hope you have a very good day. I hope to see you again. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you later. Bye.